Disclaimer.
Welcome to another episode of High Zone. Today on the menu we got mind-bending mysterious TikToks that's going crazy right now on the internet. Before we get started, if you're not tapped in with the family yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Join the family, I definitely appreciate you. For everybody that's subscribed, I definitely appreciate you. That being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for every time I drop. You get to watch them together. With no further ado, I ain't gonna have y'all waiting today.
Facts. This old random white man, he was not the shooter. I am sorry, but at the same time, why was he walking around in handcuffs screaming, shoot me, shoot me? That was just a little egregious and misleading. Who was the shooter? Most likely whoever was on this roof. And to me, this is a professional hit. 200 yards out, hitting somebody in the neck, that's not your regular shot. This man's trained. Another angle then captured that same person from the roof moving, grooving, bobbing, sliding up out of there after the shot was fired. That's the shooter, because it's clearly not his security. The question becomes, who did it and why, and what was their reason, and what could they have to gain? And Cash Patel, he said, well, we have the shooter in custody, but they're not releasing any information. So immediately that tells me either it doesn't fit their narrative, or they're trying to figure out who they want the shooter to be. Sorry, I'm putting my conspiracy tinfoil hat on already. Now, the radical left, you could say they absolutely hate Charlie, they wanted to kill him, and that was the reason that they took him out. But what would they gain from that, other than loss of support, people calling them lunatics, and most likely losing the midterm? But right, well, there are pros and cons. Well, now they have a legendary martyr who has died for his voice and his opinions, who's like, oh, we're using him as an example. And now, no one asked about the Epstein files, and there's the blue and white, who took out JFK and who also took out the USS Liberty, who they still try to deny it to this day. But what would their reasoning be? Well, Charlie has finally started to speak out against them and try to say, well, I still want to be America first, not Israel first. And now we are all turned against each other and we are on the brink of civil war. So win-win. It's like in 9/11 when BB the bomber came right out on camera and said, well, we think this is a good thing for America because now they're going to help us. The fact he was even on Israel's side makes me sick to my stomach and makes me kind of worried if you're going to go to hell. But at the same time, maybe he was just brainwashed. God going to forgive you. Now, who was it? I don't know. But I'm going with one of them three for sure. And I know it's weird because we had everything about Trump shooter within the hour. The people celebrating his death and wondering why I am not, because this is somebody that was exercising his free speech. He was literally at a college debating people. You had the chance to make him look stupid. Was he hateful? Was he a little bit racist? 100%. I don't think you should be shot in cold blood for that. Beat up? Sure. Run the ones? Throw them gloves on? 1000%. But to celebrate somebody using their free speech and giving other people the chance to use their free speech, even if it's an ideology I do not align with, this isn't the answer. Because what we're not realizing, he's the nice version. There's more people on this side of the spectrum that are way worse, way more racist, and way more violent. When I think of Malcolm X's quote of the chickens coming home to roost, this is who I think about. Not Charlie Kirk, not a talking puppet, somebody that's actually currently funding a genocide and carrying out violence and is puppeteering our entire government. While all this was happening, we had another school shooting take place, which lets me know 1000% we have a gun problem. I know there's going to be people, well, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, have that same sentiment for drugs then, because all of a sudden we want to kill drug dealers, but drugs don't kill people. People that take drugs, they die. They overdose. I didn't like you one bit, but I'm still going to say rest in peace because you are someone that I would like to have debated and made look stupid, not killed.
It's crazy out here, okay? It's a whole lot going on, and it's a lot to unpack. All this information can stress somebody out. Not at the High Zone, we good though. At the High Zone, we're gonna retain this information. We're gonna diagnose all this information properly. Listen, pay attention, stay on point, stay vigilant. They drug bro out there like a rag doll. And he ain't even do it. All these shootings should open up your eyes. Martin Luther King shooting, Malcolm X shooting. We didn't have that technology back in the days. Well, we did. They didn't want us to use it back in the days. But now that we got the technology, the cameras, the phones, it's hard not to catch anything moving. Let's keep it moving.
So the man originally arrested for shooting Charlie Kirk in Utah today has been released by the authorities. Y'all gotta understand something. This wasn't some regular Joe Schmo. This person knew what they were doing, and we can see this in the quick little 6 to 7 second video of Charlie Kirk, unfortunately passing away. He did die. I can't show it to you, but this is the layout. That's him in the tent, white shirt, holding the microphone. As he's holding the microphone answering questions in his left hand, he lowers the microphone and slightly turns his head. Then we see the initial bullet entry wound. Then you hear the crack of the shot. Then you see him tense up and inevitably passes away. Again, unfortunately. I didn't like the guy politically, but I don't wish death upon anybody. Now, that right there, we can get a lot of information from. Couple that with the fact that he was talking already for a good few minutes. If this was some regular guy, he would have taken the opportunity the first time it arose. But this person waited for the microphone to go down. Probably didn't take into account that they were just turning his head, because he meant to hit right here in the nasal cavity. If you're a skilled marksman and you're trained, you know that's where you go for the classic headshot. Not the top of the head with a lot of hard bone, not the side. It's not a lot of room. And if you hit the orbital bone right here, you might not kill him. But the nasal cavity, you hit this soft bone right here, then behind it, virtually nothing, giving the bullet pressure a lot of room to expand and essentially turning your head into a watermelon. Now let's listen to the crack of the shot.
Great.
That's a supersonic round. Supersonic rounds are made for a few things, but specifically long-range shooting. This person wasn't within the crowd. We can hear it clearly from the timing of the entry wound and then the crack. He's probably a good 125 yards away at least. Okay? And why supersonic rounds are so important for long-range shooting is because bullets, they get affected by gravity. They'll drop. Supersonic rounds stay straight for much longer. Again, showing that this individual knew what they were doing. That bullet is specifically made to do that. Now, as more information is released, I am going to be looking into surrounding buildings. Because again, this person wasn't within the crowd. This person was a distance away, knew what they were doing, had an objective, completed that objective, then took off. Because if this was a lunatic with a gun, they would have kept shooting people. There were hundreds of people right there. Easy targets. Fish in a barrel. They only took out one person with a very clean and efficient shot, then disappeared. I'm still going to say a prayer for Charlie and his family, obviously, but hopefully this person was only after him, because this is somebody who could keep...
First of all, the security, right? The security who grabbed that old man. Y'all didn't smell no gunpowder. Y'all didn't see no weapon. But y'all grabbed him up, roughed him up. Y'all don't even have the brains to think out the box. You got regular civilians on TikTok breaking it down for y'all. Let's keep it moving.
Just happened today, right after this guy was just shot on this world stage. Now rest in peace, and I feel for the people that are victims in this, you guys, but you need to understand that this world is a stage, and these are all really types of distractions. If you've never heard of crisis actors, it's because that's a conspiracy. When these crises happen, you have to ask yourself if they're all really naturally happening. And I'm here to tell you guys, with the timing of when this shot was made, watch this.
I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
So you really need to ask yourself if this really is a circus or not. Because what is the timing? That this guy was talking about mass shootings when this shot was made. How would some random shooter know to shoot right then, you guys? Just connect the dots and think about it for a moment. And I'm here to tell you, the world is a stage, you guys, that this matrix is collapsing. They're pulling out all the stops. They're pulling out all the old stuff. They're pulling out the mass shootings. They're pulling out the events, you guys. They're trying to distract you. Just remember, you guys, the world is a stage. And if you're getting trapped in all of the distractions, you're falling for exactly what they're trying to do. Rest in peace to those who have suffered under this show that I'm calling. But at the end of the day, you guys, just like watching 9/11, watching 2020, everyone freaked out and everyone fell for what they were told. But I'm here to tell you, the rabbit hole goes deeper.
He is absolutely right. Okay? The matrix is collapsing, and when a bully is losing, he's gonna pull out all the tricks in his hat. They're gonna start fights with other people. They're gonna create chaos because they want to create fear.
For the guy, I don't think he did it. I think they arrested the wrong guy. I think whoever did it was a good shooter, a sharp shooter. It was one shot right directly to the heart, and we need to find out who did this. I think there should be a research completely done that took place hours, maybe a day, before anything went on. Who could be there and pull that trigger and do it? And I don't think it was George Sim. He was poor, broke. Maybe he was on medication, a little bit loony boon. Maybe a perfect person to pick and say that did it, but I don't think he did it at all.
So at this point, but did you see him taken into custody? Did you see him with any kind of thing in his hand, any device in his hand or anything like that?
I saw when they actually put the handcuffs behind his back.
Okay.
I followed them.
All right,
when
we're
they
going to go to
took him
Jason
the troop-
Chaffetz.
You see, the news reporter trying to cut him off. Let's go to Jason Lufitz. No, let him finish, let him cook. Even the old people is questioning everything. They're not falling for it. They create chaos just to clean it up. Our savior, our savior. We're not doing that no more.
Okay, this Irina Jasruska situation has just gotten weirder. We're going full-blown conspiracy theory on this one. Sit back, relax, if you can. We're going down the rabbit hole. Now, there's some new audio that just leaked from the killer, Day Carlos Brown Jr., speaking to his sister about this whole situation.
Did what?
The material, feel like the material using my body to stab the face.
So he claims that there is a man-made material or some type of microchip in his body that made him commit the murder, in which he was actually arrested for back in January for claiming the same thing. They said Brown was arrested for the misuse of the 911 system, claiming that there was a man-made material in his body that controlled his eating, walking, and talking. Remember in part 1 where I showed you all that evidence and how the CIA could be behind this because they have stuff like Operation Mockingbird? Where's documented evidence where they work with the mainstream media to shape public opinion? Well, that's just the beginning. Can anybody tell me why the same thing happened back in 2017 where a shooter went to the Fort Lauderdale airport, killed 5 people, and said the government was controlling his mind? And this was done by Iraq War veteran Esteban Santiago Ruiz, who's now sitting in prison for life. Gets even weirder. So they said the shooting lasted about 70 to 80 seconds. They said he purchased the gun legally and the gun was in his checked luggage. After the shooting though, he just laid down on the floor. What? It's also noted that just like Day Carlos, he went to the authorities way before the attack to notify him that he was being controlled and hearing voices and something or someone was controlling his actions. It gets even weirder because I got this message from someone on the ground doing their own investigation. They said, hey, I saw your video on the Ukrainian girl murder being a psyop. I'm part of the Ukrainian diaspora and I reached out to the family so I can rally the community for support. What seemed like a simple act on my part led me down a number of dead ends. I called the police department, got bounced around, and in the end, I couldn't confirm that this even happened. I spoke with the funeral home, there was no burial, and a GoFundMe that was requesting $150K. Her Instagram looks like a fake account. I'm not sure any of it even happened. The entire thing may be staged as one big psyop. Now, I can't confirm nor deny any of that information, but it is interesting that this picture of her in her room has a Black Lives Matter poster. I don't know if this is before or after she came to the US, but it would be kind of weird since she came to the US in 2022 and you have something years removed from BLM. But all in all, it just seems like they want a part 2 of BLM. I mean, isn't it weird that everything this year is supercharged with racial issues? You have Austin Metcalf, you have Cracker Barrel, you have Shannon Sharp with the OnlyFans girl, and now this. Are we seeing a pattern yet? Make sure you guys get into my Telegram, link in bio. I'm gonna drop more information on this, but let me know what you guys think below.
That was a straight cooker right there. Listen, big stage, big movie. In fact, this might be the final movie. Get your popcorn, get your chocolate, your gummy bears, whatever you do. Do not fall asleep during the movie. I'm telling y'all, do not fall asleep during the movie, or you're gonna be cooked.
A problem with us worshiping the Most High. Take a look at this. This guy's on his knees during a concert worshiping NBA Youngboy. And not too long ago, NBA Youngboy confessed that he's demonic.
I'm very demonic.
You would think you'll lose fans, right? Well, take a look at this crowd. They are worshiping NBA Youngboy. Take a look at this young man. He's weeping in the presence of NBA Youngboy. So who do you think they are bowing down to? The prince of the world. Just take a look at the masses. They are weeping, crying, bowing down. It's like they under a spell or something. Music is spiritual. It did not originate in the earth. It originated in heaven. However, heaven is a spiritual place, and the prince of the world was singing around the throne of the Most High. And he's so deceptive that when he was cast down from heaven, he deceived 1/3 of the angels. So if he deceived angels, you don't think he's able to deceive the masses? He always wanted to be like the Most High. He wants to be praised and he wants to be worshiped. So by the fans bowing down to NBA YoungBoy, the reality is they are worshiping the Prince of the World. And we wonder why the culture is messed up. There's video clips of underage individuals attending this concert, which means parents are casting their little ones into the fire. Where do you all think NBA YoungBoy lyrics comes from? The spiritual realm. And I guarantee you it's about to get worse, because during this concert, portals were open because they came into agreement with NBA YoungBoy. See, the power of death and life is in the tongue. What NBA YoungBoy is rapping about is manifesting through these young men, because they are repeating the lyrics over and over again. We're not wrestling against flesh. We are in spiritual warfare. Why do you think they love to perform in darkness? Because spirits are at their best in the dark. The text called them rulers of darkness. I'm not saying this to rejoice, but this is the main reason a lot of young men's faces are on the front of t-shirts with those 3 letters, R.I.P.
People are just cook, if you ask me. Cook. Like, the man literally had an interview.
As I see it, I just grab it. Man, this shit very demonic. This whole industry, this whole system, all this shit demonic. It's very, all this shit ran off money. All this shit do not mean nothing. It's very demonic. This whole music industry is very demonic. As I saw the crosses in the Jesus piece, I just grabbed it. It really don't mean nothing.
It's a demonic industry that I chose to be a part of. So it's like I accept that I run with it, but don't be a dominant at the same time. You gotta understand they're using me as entertainment, and this shit becomes self-destruction too. Cause I ain't no entertainment.
Third, and people are calling it demonic, and I see why. And to look at all the kids like jumping to his music and acting like that. They telling YoungBoy not to come to Chicago because I don't know what it is with Chicago and them, and him, but they're telling him not to go. Of course he's gonna come to Chicago. People like really into him. But he's coming out of coffin, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. That's demonic. Should I say allegedly? Not sure. But that's what sells, y'all. To be honest, that's what sells.
He said his music is demonic. My music is demonic. Don't listen to my music. I got demons running out my front door. Parents, stop sending off your kids to these concerts. The music is not music anymore. It's not like the early 90s when, music was fun. We was vibing, we was dancing. We're not doing that no more. The music is hyper and they doing all kinds of drugs and you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, parents, start parenting the right way, man. Stop sending your kids off to these concerts. It's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we leading them to the pit.
Do you still not realize that they're all playing multiple roles? And I'm not just talking this guy. I'm talking all of them. Why don't we take a look at 2 supposedly different individuals in Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt? They look kind of similar, right? Kind of real similar, even in their younger years. But that's all it is, right? Similarity. They just have similar features. They couldn't possibly be the same person, right? Well, let's take a closer look and see what we can find. Did you ever see when Benicio won an Oscar? Kind of runs like somebody I know. I don't know, there's just some similarities to it. Maybe it's just me. Although he does celebrate as he's being handed an Oscar. Oh, and did you see who just happened to hand him that Oscar? Brad Pitt's wife, and she just happens to be looking very adoringly at Benicio and seems pretty chummy with him for photos.
As you can see, all these doubles, all these clones. Pay attention. People who mess with the numbers, man. You got people doing Tremantia. People definitely working these numbers, and these numbers are adding up. Drop it down below what y'all think about Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's wild to me.
Something is going on spiritually across the entire world right now. What's up? My name is Phoenix, and I can see in the spirit realm. So I'm back in Arizona, and I was just praying, and God told me to look at Arizona in the spirit realm. And I look, and over Arizona, like, it's still being rolled over by, like, angelic principalities and stuff, but it's, like, over it, it's just like this dark, heavy blanket. It's like this massive shadow that's being draped over all of Arizona, like weighing it down. And it's like the angelic principalities are like being crushed underneath it, like trying to like push up against it. Then Holy Spirit tells me to zoom out and look at it, and it's not just Arizona. And I zoom out and look, and it's over the entire United States of America. And I check in the ruling spirit, the principality over the United States of America is still the spirit of liberty and justice for all. But same thing, it's like, it's just like pressing up against this dark, heavy weighted pitch black shadow that's like pressing down on top of it, like trying to crush it. Then God tells me to zoom out even further. In the spirit, I'm seeing it's across the entire world. I know this probably sounds so wild, but if you've been following me for a while now, you know that it's not that crazy. Because Ephesians 6:12, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the principalities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness. And God tells me to ask him to show me the source of it. So I do, and it's all stemming from Paris. If you guys have been following me, you know, a few months ago, God showed me something else, a bunch of evil darkness spreading from Paris. And he had me get on here and tell people to pray for Paris. So right now he's having me do the same thing, except he's telling me to tell everyone to pray for the entire world right now. I asked him what this like darkness is, or like what it was, and he tells me it's just evil, it's just darkness and corruption. And it's just like this dark shadow that's just over the entire world right now, all stemming from Paris. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is going to entail or what physical effects it's going to have on the world. All I know is everything I've told you guys on here. So if you've seen this, pause your TikTok, take some time and just spend some time praying with God and just praying for the entire world right now, because we all know the world needs it. God bless you guys.
Paris is cooked, okay? Paris is cooked. They broke. Africa kicked the French out, you know? They got the boots. Paris is cooked. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no resources. They ain't got no gold. They ain't got no diamond. They ain't got no radium. They ain't got no Kenya. They ain't got no Mali. They ain't got Africa. So Paris is going down, okay? Paris economy is done. In Paris, they do got that bone city right under the Eiffel Tower, right? The money.
Talking everywhere else. But a great calamity is coming. Okay, and they all know it. They all prepped and prepared for it. The military in these different American cities is not for the black youth running around, gangster criminals. It's not for them. They would have been had that in place if that was the case. Okay, ain't like Trump having some type of epiphany or nothing. It's the end, y'all. And if you don't have $1 million in your bank account right now, or some high-tech bunker in some way distant land, then you poor, okay? And if you poor, they don't like you. And they don't like me for telling y'all this. They gonna let y'all die, y'all. Matter of fact, they setting some of y'all up to go right into destruction. Listen to me. They don't even want me talking. They ban me. Do your research on me. Do your research. Then come back and holler at me. They keep blocking the video I'm trying to upload right now. And it's not even about the end of the world, that's pretty much where it's at. I just tell, hey, black people, you camps and stuff, why don't y'all get together and be friends? Stop fighting each other. I ain't used nothing in that video that shouldn't have been in that video. And they took the sound off. So they don't even want black people telling other black people to, hey, stop fighting each other, be friends. Wow. You know they don't want me telling y'all it's the end, so y'all can do something about it. And if you live in America, you are hopeless. You have no choices, none. Y'all asses lucky they let y'all drive y'all cars. I'm for real, y'all. I'm for real. Look at me out here. How do I know all the things I tell y'all? Because in 1986, the Lord took me to the future in real life, y'all. I went every day for 5 days. The first time I went to the future, I was walking to the bus stop on a Saturday morning at about 9:30 in the morning. And I popped up in the future in the middle of a civil war. Think it's a game. Yeah, somebody like this exists, and it's real. Y'all understand what I'm telling y'all? The American people are sitting ducks. Yes, I said it. And they counting on you to stay sitting ducks so they can do whatever they want to. Man, they working, y'all. I just can't keep this in. Keep this in. Look, y'all. I'm not out here for nothing. I'm out here because it's the end. And I refuse to be like y'all, sitting ducks. They work y'all to the point where you can't even think about nothing. You ain't got no time. And then when you try to get some time for yourself, that's 5 minutes. Then you got the kids, you got food, you got just relaxing. All the little necessities you need to do in life, y'all ain't got time to do damn near if you work a real job and got real bills. Doomed. Y'all gonna be overworked the day that great calamity hit. And soon as you get loud and act up, they got the military in the place to bust you over your head. You ever see that video in New York where the police was marching down the streets? They was doing some type of protest, something. This old white man. He was old, had to be like 90 years old. I'm talking about old. They slammed him to the ground and busted his head. He didn't get back up. I don't know if that man dead or not. But the police did that just on camera. And they was all grouped up, walking in a line, pushing feet back. Man, y'all have no clue what y'all up against. And it ain't just black people, white people. Listen to me, y'all. If you ain't rich somewhere, they don't give a damn about you. Listen to me, man. Screw me being black and all that crap. Screw whatever may be in your mind, whatever is in the recesses of your damn thoughts. Screw that right now. They putting everything into play for screw y'all, man. The Lord deals with me. He shows me things in real life, and I don't mean dreams. I don't have dreams. I be woke. I walk to the future with these 2 feet. Pay attention. And I ain't talking about to me. Pay attention to everything around y'all. See the military helicopters? I don't know if you can see it out of view now, because they watch me up here. See where I'm at? They got military helicopters fly up here every day. And at nighttime, drones be circling me and shit. And then I got these white orbs, these big old white orbs. They spirits of God. Those are angels. Some of them be demons, but these are angels. They be flying around here at nighttime and stuff, watching us. Me and my little tent, my little camp. See, the thing is y'all get on here and celebrate foolishness and entertained by your own destruction that's coming upon you. These people know that. They prepared. They got tons and tons of food. They got an underground city, and that's for the people. That ain't for no damn people. The people they picked to go down there, I wouldn't even go because I saw this. They gonna kill y'all under there. When things get bad up here, y'all gonna run down there because things gonna listen to me. The Lord showed me the future. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with the underground cities. You can take this to the bank, okay? In 1986, the Lord showed me they had underground cities. The Lord showed me that they was down there in a lab making monsters to control and to sick on y'all and feel like they God and be a big shot and all that stuff. When things get bad, rocks, asteroids gonna fall from the sky. I don't know if they from outer space, rocks gonna fall from the sky gonna catch fire and cook the ground. When this starts to happen, when this leads up to that, they gonna run down to them underground cities. The people that don't get invited, you gonna feel left out. I'm telling you, don't feel left out. You have God. Because the people that run down them underground cities gonna die down there. Those cities gonna get destroyed by God. God moved continents. He created this whole planet. Running under the ground ain't finna save you on his planet. Oh my God, these people insane. I'm finna do God's chosen people like dirt. I'm be evil, racist, murder, kill everybody up. To destroy the water, poison the food, have whole islands made out of fucking nasty plastic where animals is getting choked to death by plastic. I'm gonna do all this evil stuff and bomb the world, rape the kids and everything else. And then when God get ready to come, when God send the Howard shot back, Christ back, I'm just gonna dig a hole and run underground and hide. Hey, elite people, if y'all listening to me, this is a message for the elite. All the people that's in the Illuminati, the rich people and all y'all some childish ass people, man. And y'all stupid. And y'all asses is doomed. Listen to me. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, Heavenly Father, I ask you in the holy name of Yahweh, in Jesus' name, to destroy these people and all of our enemies.
Yahuwah said, those who go down in those bunkers, they gonna wish they wasn't down there, okay? They gonna wish they wasn't in those bunkers, those tunnels, wherever they gonna go and hide, they gonna wish they wasn't down there. And that's a prophecy. Let's not get that twisted, okay? That was a lot to unpack. Comment down below. Tell me what y'all thought about that. I mean, he was really cooking, just like I be telling y'all. Keep your eyes open. Pay attention.
Y'all talking about Mariah the Scientist.
Oh, fuck, shorty? Oh, yeah, they upset for real.
You know, I don't claim to know everything, but I do know this. Chicago is not D.C. Mark my words, Chicago is not D.C. I have been there. I know these people. And Chicago is not D.C. This is going to be a shit show.
The National Guard is now officially in Chicago, Illinois. Now, there's a lot of videos floating around. I've seen videos. They got YNs on rooftops. And all I'm saying is, our military nowadays, it ain't like...
I don't know what people think that this is, or if they think that the Trump administration is playing games or bluffing or just making a show or trying to show force, and if this is just some kind of, you know, charade that he's putting on or whatever, but he's not playing, bro. They not playing. Y'all better learn from what happened with these illegal migrants and how they was grabbing them up. They should have paid. What people don't understand is that DC's crimes and crime rate was exponentially higher than it was in Chicago and Los Angeles. I believe both combined when you compare per capita. This is not a game. This is not something that people should be playing with. Like, I know this is all cute on social media and everybody is doing a YNs versus the National Guard and all of that. They are not playing. They are rolling through and they are setting up shop and they are prepared to try to protect the 3 million plus 3 to 4 million.
Please, people, be careful, because the troops are not playing. Just like y'all not playing, they not playing. The difference between y'all and them, y'all get caught, y'all going down. Them, they are liable to do anything, so be careful, man.
That's an Agent Smith or one of the little aliens from They Live.
During our reset in 2021, I went to a casino in the Smoky Mountains,
And while I was there was this one particular worker that was working there, and he was a young guy in his early 20s, and we were having fun. He was like one of the dealers, helping us out, joking with us and everything. But for some reason, because I can read aura, he had a strange aura about him, but he was still very cool. But for some reason, I kept my eye on him the whole time. So it was another couple there with us. They were gambling. We were on the dice table, right? So we're rolling craps. We're having fun. A couple hours go by, but I see the young man over in the corner. He's standing, and he has his arms like on the table, something like this. If you look at this picture, and this is from a movie called The Arrival, if you see the legs that are on this person, well, his arms was bent like that, not his legs, so it was bent awkwardly. And so I yelled out to him and said, "Hey man, what's wrong with your arms? Look kind of weird." Well, as soon as I said that, the couple next to me, they were kind of like some religious fanatics. They got scared. They cashed out and left immediately. Now, I don't really think nothing of it, but I did think it was strange. He looked at me strange and then he disappeared. I didn't see him for the rest of the night. Well, when I got up about 5 a.m. to go back to where I came from, right? It's a couple hours away. And all of a sudden, I saw a sighting, in which I have recordings. This is so wild, guys. Every time I try to tell you guys this story, something happens to my recording or my page or whatever. This is so crazy. I'm telling you guys, I have so much evidence, but
they'll censor your ass quick, okay? And one thing I like about her, she sensed the aura, okay, man? I tell y'all, man, the aura will give it up. Protect your aura. This episode's a little bit different. Keep the minds open.
Off as children when I had my kids outside for recess and just tried to have them line up and come inside the school. Okay, so I'm not a teacher. I'm a volunteer. I volunteer at my daughter's school. I pretty much help her teacher with whatever she needs. I'm just a concerned parent. So fast forward, the teacher counted out 14 kids for me to take outside for recess. I'm like, okay, cool. We get outside for the recess. I'm watching all 14 of the kids. I'm looking at them, watching them. Off to the right, there are the first graders, okay? And their teachers are over there watching them. And then on the jungle gym are the third graders. Now, mind you, like I said, we only had 14 kids that I took outside for recess. So I'm watching them, and where they're running, it's like nothing but open field, grass and trees. Now, it's not so many trees where you can't see the kids, right? They're only like, there's a big tree over here, there's a big tree off to the right, and then there's one single big tree that's straight ahead. Now, that one single big tree, I saw the kids over there running, and I was like, what they doing way down there? So I started yelling. I said, hey, get down here where I can, get to you, where I can see you. They weren't listening to me. So fast forward, I go down there, I start walking towards the tree, and then as I'm walking towards the tree that's in the far distance, the kids started running towards me. I guess they ain't want me coming down there. So I walked down there anyway, just to make sure ain't no other kids hiding. So I walked down there and looked behind the tree, nobody's down there. So I started walking back, and by that time, it was time for the kids to start lining up anyway. Recess was over. So I'm like, okay, let's line up. All the kids started lining up, and I'm like, you know what, let me count. So I started counting the kids. Now remember, I had 14 kids when I came out there, and all of a sudden, the number is at 19. I said 19. So I was like, I had 14 kids when I came out here. All of a sudden, we had 19. So then I started looking at faces, because I've been with them 3 weeks now. Like, I've been volunteering for 3 weeks. I know what their face look like now. So I started looking at faces, and I see the last 5 kids do not look familiar to me at all. I'm like, what's your name? Little boy was like, Zachariah. I said, what's your last name? He could not tell me. I said, are you in Miss Wood's class? He said, no. I said, well, why are you in my line, baby? He's like, I just wanted to play. And then the other kids behind him just sitting there like statues, ain't said a word, didn't blink. And the other kids saw them as well. The other kids saw them. Y'all know how sensitive kids can be. And so I said, okay, baby, well, you're not in this line. Go ahead. I'm sorry, but you can't come in with us if you're not here. Find your teacher. They run off to that big tree out there in the far distance. And I, felt worried. Like I said, sometimes they look just as real as, you and I. They look just as real as me. Okay? So because they ran towards that tree again, I felt weird. And I ran down to the tree, and I told one of the teachers that's out there, like, hey, are these kids y'all's? And they weren't behind the tree. Disappeared. Weren't behind the tree. Remember what I said, there's nothing but open field and trees. They ran behind that tree, and I wasn't far behind them. They can't run that fast, their little legs. They were at least 5 or 6. And when I say I was sprinting down there to get them, y'all, okay? I was sprinting down there, and cousin can run, okay? So get down there, and I start looking. I'm looking around. Nothing. Nothing.
Zone family, let me know what y'all think about that story. I know kids can manifest theyself. You know, when the energy is high, when other kids is around, they can definitely manifest theyself. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. If it's facts or cap, drop it down below.
Stage full of actors. Metaphysically, this place is just a construct. It only appears when you show up. The majority of this does not exist without your perception. Think about it. How often do you see someone you live around in your neighborhood actually put groceries up? Majority of the food you see here is just to make you dense and unconscious. However, when you're self-aware, you also know how to balance yourself, and you know the usefulness of something like fruit, because it carries a vitality and a life force that man-made food does not. So typically you should look at fruit as your main option. So look at fruit as something that keeps you more in alignment and is lighter for your energy body. I've even had occurrences in this store where it's almost as though someone has inner demons that lash out at you. They look at you in an angry way. It's projections, because this is typically a place that would have a lot of dark energy within it. And when a being of light shows up, it activates things that the Matrix isn't always ready for. You need to know that a store is a major place where they harvest energy. So be very aware of your energy field. Everything around you is coded. Each person, all parts of this environment are here reflecting back to you messages. So be self-aware and put a shield up. Protect yourself, because a lot of this has to do with just the Matrix trying to trick you. The Matrix tricks you. So be very aware of that. If you really want to look at this from a true perspective, don't look at these people in a negative way. They're really just parts of your subconscious reflecting back to you all of the time. One more thing to notice is that a lot of these stores play music always in the background to keep your attention zoned in on buying and always in an unconscious state. The entire environment here is color-coded to make you want to buy, as you see red, and also as you see green, heart chakra and money, red, attention, root chakra, survival state, and buy. The program makes you become a consumer and to transact fully into the narrative. People also are pulled to the moon. The sign the moon is in, the illumination of it currently in each moment also will dictate how they're flowing, kind of like the ocean. The moon controls the ocean. It's the same with these appearing individuals.
Put up your wall and protect your aura. And this is one big movie. Don't get sidetracked.
Real quick, do y'all remember that movie Kazaam? About the little white boy who discovered the black genie played by Shaquille O'Neal? You have to grow up in the 90s to remember this. Anyway, he convinced the little boy that he's a genie and he's here to grant him 3 wishes. And watching the movie, you will be convinced that he is a genie. But this is not a genie, bro. I see right through this movie. And he ain't no genie. Bro, throughout this movie, he chasing a damn rap career. He's rapping. Bro, how you a genie and you chasing a rap career? Bro, how you a genie and you trying to become a rapper? When the last time you heard of a genie chasing a rap career or any music of that matter? And instead of a lamp, he resides inside of a radio, bro. A radio. So first he rapping and then he lives in the radio. If anything, this movie is full of harmful stereotypes. But hey, they the one who played it. So in the scene, he was rapping. And while he was saying these horrible raps, he said something that got my attention. He said those babies had rabies and we was in Hades. And this is what the boy said. So is you and Haber in 1000 BC. And then he said this, buried to our necks in the sand like the sea. So he's saying him and his friend was in Hades. This is why he's displaying his body covered up in sand, because they was trapped in Hades. And then he said he called up on some god to escape from Hades. But I think he lying. I think he just escaped from Hades on his own. According to mythology, if he's from Hades and he's in Hades, then he belongs in Hades. He's not supposed to escape. Then in this scene, he was letting the little boy know he's not allowed to mess with destiny. He cannot make people fall in love and all those things. And then the little boy says, I thought you can do anything and change things and make things different. And then that's when the genie replied with this message. You're not talking about genies. You're talking about jinn. And then the little boy replies with, jinn, what's a jinn? A jinn is a supernatural being in Islamic Arabian mythology. They live in a realm parallel to human beings. They have free will and the ability to choose between good and evil. But he's lying to this kid. He's not trying to become a jinn. This is no genie. This is a deity that escaped from Hades, trying to steal a soul so he can have access to this world forever. And this kid was the perfect target because he had daddy issues, which is going to open him up emotionally to be attached to this deity. So he was the perfect match. Now, towards the end of the movie, it's portrayed that he's granting the kid his third wish. But this is false. It's not what it looks like, bro. He's stealing his soul. See, he was dead at first, but he came back alive. This is the process of stealing his soul. This is what he was trying to accomplish. Gaining a soul to have access to this world illegally. Now, to finish this ritual, as you see the little boy is floating in the air. He's coming to this deity, right? This is the whole process and the finalization of him taking his soul. His soul is literally being taken right now. Then the very next scene shows him being rescued from a burning building. And he's all like, what happened? Your soul has been taken. That's what happened. So the little boy got what he wanted, which is a second chance for his father, so his father can be in his life. He got what he wanted, but it was a sacrifice with that. His soul was taken, but he don't know it. So the little boy is condemned. This was all a process, and this deity was running out of time. That's why he kept losing his power. That's why he needed people to worship him, to keep him in power. This is exactly why the genie was rapping, to receive worship and praise. You don't think he was just rapping for no reason. This is the reason. Now you know what rap is really about. He even said he owned all these people.
Listen to this crowd, they love him. I own him. Say what? Love him. I own him.
And this man is trying to control his deity with this radio, but he don't realize you can't control him no more. He's at full satanic strength. He don't need it no more because he has the worship of the people. And the real him came out on this scene right here.
I'll never be a slave.
When he said, I'll never be your slave, he's referring to the time he spent in Hades. He would never have a master again.
That was heat, okay? He broke that down the way it's supposed to be broken down. If you know what Hades is, aka hell, man, he broke that down beautifully. Comment down below what you thought about Kazaam, how bro broke it down. That's the whole music business and that 3-minute clip for y'all. In Nepal, only to be running alongside the locals for your life. That's exactly what happened to this British tourist guy that ended up in Nepal the day that these people decided to rise up against the government. What are the chances of that? And again, he found himself to be running for his life.
I cannot believe my eyes right now. The whole of Parliament is on fire. People are dancing. None of it is left. Look at it. The whole building is burned through. People holding Nepali flags on some of the fire engines.
Yo, they're really going at it, y'all. They're really going at it. To the underground government buildings, finding the government officials' vehicles, bringing them to the front of this building over here, and burning them. Let them all catch on fire, y'all. This is some crazy. This is crazy, y'all. I've never seen any type of music festival like this. And they proceeded to beat up the trucks too, y'all. They're bringing up all the cars to burn them up. These are the government officials' vehicles. So at this point, what is Gen Z doing? And I said this before. I mean, that's why they say Gen Z is the last generation. You guys are the ones that's breaking this whole down, breaking this whole system down. And like I said, this is only the beginning because the people are fed up with their government, tired of paying these high prices, these high rent, high bills for groceries, for things that we need in order to live and maintain ourselves in this world. It's coming to an end, y'all. This shit's crazy. But let me know what you guys think about this. We actually see a system get taken down. That is wild, bro. Can't nobody say they was expecting to see a system come down. One thing I don't like is they call them Gen Z. Them boys is YNs, okay? Them boys over there that's taking down the system, they crashing out like YNs. They ain't no different than the YNs over here, okay? Y'all could say Gen Z, I'ma say they YNs also, because they doing YN activities. Look up or you might miss it, because things are warming up. What they told us wasn't real is very much real. It's in the sky every day. People in other countries are seeing more of this than us. I don't know why, but the other countries overseas, Australia, they having a party in the sky.
3i Atlas, 60-second update if you're like most people and going, what the hell is happening? 1, it's producing methane. You know, I don't remember the last time a comet, a meteor, or an asteroid produced methane. 2, it's producing its own light source, and it's producing it from within. I don't remember the last time a comet, meteor, or asteroid did that. 3, it's speeding up and slowing down. It's changing course and then correcting its course. I don't remember when an asteroid, meteor, or comet ever did that either. It's also not producing what typically follows the tail of a comet, meteor, or asteroid. And in fact, it's actually producing that at times in front of it, which is leading scientists to believe that it has some form of exhaust that is helping it speed up or slow down. I don't remember when an asteroid, meteor, or comet has done that either. And lastly, the elements it's made of are not known on our periodic table, which doesn't confirm that it is or isn't a spaceship, asteroid, meteor, or comet, but it does have known elements that we here on Earth have no clue what it is. So those are just 60 seconds of updates on 3i Atlas, just in case you were still wondering, what the hell is this thing and when is it showing up?
How the hell we don't know what it is and we got all this information on it? Make it make sense. We know there's light inside of it. We know it farts. We know it speeds. We know it switched course. So how y'all don't know what it is? Come on, man. You know they know what it is, bro. They just don't want to tell us. They want to tell us at the end when shit get thick. Comment down below what y'all think about the 3i Atlas.
The UFO that got hit with the Hellfire missile gets even weirder. Check this out. I've been observing this for over an hour and a half to 2 hours, okay? So when the impact happens, there's a little orb in the top left corner that already makes itself appear before impact, right? Let me reverse this here for you so you can see. Look at the orb emerge already. Look, emerged. Boom. It moves to the left, it squeezes out the last 3 pieces of these particles here, and then these particles move into a triangular formation. In the center of this triangular formation, there's another object that glints. It's almost like a anchor point. Look, it's flashing there, and it glints again, and then I'll speed it up for you so you can see it. It's almost like a centerpiece to keep these counterbalanced. It's not coming off the missile itself. These particles are from the object itself. Here we go again, look. Orb is moving out of the way. Here we go, look, the counterbalance there, you can see it glowing. Boom. Right? This is moving with, okay? And these particles do not fall down to the ocean. They track with the object the entire way, right? So here we go. You can see the particles glint right there. Boom. On the top corner of it, glinting again, and it follows it all the way through. Now, this goes trans-medium, mate. It goes under the water, right? There we go. Enter. Entry point here. Goes underneath, splash, and the difference in light, it cools down. So you can see it enters, cools down, goes underwater, and it doesn't slow down its speed. It carries on its trajectory. Like it's not affected. This is insane. And if it's a Hellfire missile that the Burleson in Congress did say, it's roughly around 6 foot long. Okay, so that's how big the missile is. So seeing it come towards the object itself should be around, I'd say probably 10 to 12 foot squared in diameter, right? But it could be smaller because of the heat source. It could be a bigger heat source with a smaller object. So this thing is not messing around. The missile was traveling around 1,000 miles per hour because it's engaging the target. Its cruising speed is usually around 200 to 300 miles per hour. So this come in, smacked the target, didn't explode. It ricochets off. And then as it continues on, the object just goes on its merry way. Like, I have no idea.
Somebody told me that could be a macabre, the body, the light body. Yo, listen, man. Whatever that is, whatever it is, it's not to be played with. That force is not to be played with. Man-made weapon cannot stand in front of those things. It proved it. Didn't even scratch it, because it put itself back together. Drop it down below.
that never touched my skin stood in the wind, but it blew me in. You spoke no words, but I heard you clear. Time folded twice when you appeared. My shoes forgot how to follow the ground. Your eyes bent light, turned it upside down. I held your hand, but felt the whole sky shift. Baby, I swear I never felt like this. No stars above, but everything shines. You don't chase me. You realize I don't fall, I float, I drift in a love so strange. I never felt like this. The clocks all stopped, but the night moved on. You whispered silence, and my doubts were gone. I lost my name in your gentle abyss, where nothing is loud, but everything fits. There's no map here, no north, no line, but you touch my soul like you built the design. And I walk blind, I don't miss. Something deeper guides all of this. No sound at all, yet I hear you sing. No touch, no fire, still I feel everything. I don't fall, I float, I drift in your impossible love. I never felt like this. I once believed love had a face.
That was the nuclear power plant where they activated the nuclear switch, then shut it down. These things ain't playing around. That was not CGI also. Clearly see the shadow, you clearly seen the zoom in. One thing about these things, when they do come to these military bases, they let their presence be known. They let these people know, yeah, we here, okay, we here. Comment down below what y'all thought about that.
The explosion happened in an instant. There was no time to react. As you can see, when this woman noticed the gas cylinder leaking, she didn't try to shut off the valve. Panicked, she chose to back away from the scene instead. This allowed the gas to keep leaking onto the floor. Now keep in mind, gas cylinders typically contain highly flammable substances like carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Once the gas concentration in the air reaches a certain level, even the smallest spark or bit of heat can ignite it, causing an explosion. Judging by how long the gas had been leaking here, even though the door was open and there was some airflow, there was still too much gas built up to safely disperse in such a short time. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, evacuating immediately is the right call. But after you're safe, you must call emergency services and report the gas leak, its location and severity. Whatever you do, don't go back like this woman did. By the time she returned, the best window to shut off the valve had already passed. To make things worse, she even brought her neighbor along to help. The two of them saw the gas had stopped leaking and assumed everything was fine. Moments later, boom, the explosion hit, and just look at the power of it from another angle. The blast wave launched the guy standing outside like a rag doll. If you ever smell gas, get out and stay out.
I'm not even gonna laugh at that. It's not funny. Definitely not funny.
In recent months, Congress has also been presented with evidence that points to technologies that, to our knowledge, are beyond our current capabilities. It is our duty as elected representatives to follow the facts wherever they lead and to ensure that those facts are not buried under classification stamps or bureaucratic excuses. Let me be clear, whether UAPs represent adversarial technology, natural phenomena, or something beyond current human understanding, Congress has a responsibility to investigate. If these objects are foreign in origin, then they pose a direct threat to our national security. And if they represent something unknown, they demand rigorous scientific inquiry, not ridicule, not secrecy, and not silence. The stakes are very high. Adversarial nations are not waiting for us to catch up. They are studying these phenomena as well aggressively, as multiple nations have also announced their own parliamentary investigations into this very topic. If we are to continue to hide information from ourselves, we risk strategic surprise. If we continue to ignore our pilots and service members, as well as countless government whistleblowers, we risk losing their trust. And if we continue to shield the truth from the public, we risk eroding the very foundation of democratic accountability. This is why this hearing matters. This is not about fueling speculation. This is about demanding the basic transparency from the Department of Defense and the intelligence community and other military contractors. It is about asking the questions every American has the right to ask. What do we know? What don't we know? And why in a free society are we being told so little?
Everyone needs to get ready. Today is September 10th. I'm going into a meeting right now with my sources that have been informing me about the situation going on in the Pacific Ocean. This is going to be bigger than I thought it was. You're going to be hearing a lot of stuff in the news, in the mainstream media over the next few days. I'm going to say nothing is what it seems right now, so you need to keep that in mind. Keep looking at what every country's military is doing and how they're getting prepared, how they're taking major precautions and defensive measures. And then ask yourself, why are they doing this right now? What's going on? What have we been informed about that could affect pretty much the entire world? This is something that's coming from above, guys. Stay safe, stay savage. This is major.
Russia and China getting together, North Korea. Listen, something big, major is gonna happen. And they don't want to tell us. It's okay. Heart is pure, vibrating high, aura is glowing. We're gonna walk through this with faith. Drop it down below. Let me know what y'all think.
New child abduction tactic parents need to know about. Please watch this all the way through and share it with your kids. A teenage girl is walking home when an elderly woman stops her on the sidewalk. The woman asks for help carrying a heavy grocery bag up to her apartment. The girl, thinking nothing of it, agrees and follows her inside. Once they reach the apartment, the woman unlocks the door, and the girl sets the bag down in the entryway. But then the woman insists she bring it all the way into the kitchen. The girl agrees again and carries the bag further inside. Meanwhile, the woman quietly locks the front door. The girl sets the bag on a chair and is about to leave when suddenly a disturbing man appears behind her. His eyes look wild, and he licks his lips in a way that makes her uncomfortable. The girl politely greets him and says she needs to go home, but instead of letting her leave, the man steps closer and asks, "Why would you want to leave? Don't you like it here?" When the girl explains her parents are waiting for her, the man lunges toward her. She barely manages to dodge him and runs to the door, only to find it locked. Terrified, she pleads with them not to hurt her and threatens to scream. The man just smirks and says, "No one's going to hear."
That's a case of stranger danger. Parents, teach your kids to stay away from people they don't know. Don't matter if the person is old. Because people are weird nowadays, okay? People are weird, bro. People, like, their energy just be off whack. I don't even like people touching me anyway, trying to steal my aura. Parents, please protect your kids. Let your kids know not to trust anybody nowadays. Don't trust nobody, okay? People are sick. We have more NPCs running around here nowadays, okay? A lot of NPCs are running around here. So parents, please protect your kids, please. That being said, guys, that was the end of the video tonight. Tonight was a little bit different, more of an update kind of video of what's going on. Because we need to know what's going on also, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because the news don't show us what's going on, social media is going to show us what's going on. So we have to pay attention and stay afloat on everything that's moving. With that being said, if you ain't following me yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, join the family, tap in with me. Definitely appreciate you. Zone family, y'all been going crazy, and I'm loving y'all, okay? I'm loving every last one of y'all that subscribe to me, okay? okay? I got 309 subscribers. That's 309,000 subscribers. That's how I'm looking at y'all. That's how much love I got for y'all. Y'all vibrating high. I could tell y'all vibrate high by the way y'all comment. Zone family, thank you, and I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, Zone family, I'm getting up out of here. Tomorrow's another day. Gotta get some things ready for y'all. Love and peace. Till next time.